Hey guys, wow, what a fight, right? What a fight. For the most part, it went exactly how I thought it would. Um, just like Gary Russell, the fact that he was fast, I knew was going to make it like a competitive fight all throughout the fight. Linares, like I said, he was not going to quit. He's very tough. And like, can you guys believe that knockdown? Oh my goodness. To be honest, I didn't believe it. I didn't think that it could happen. I was watching the fight at Starbucks and I literally screamed and everyone looked at me. Super weird. But um, it was just an incredible fight, you guys. And there's now this video is not going to have any footage in it, but I am looking for a full um, a full fight. I tried to record it, right, like off the stream I was watching, and I have some of the rounds, but because I was recording it in full screen, a lot of the stuff kind of got jacked up. Um, like uh, like in this video right here, like this is a still frame, but it's a still frame of the video. I can't fast forward through it and watch the highlights of the knockdown or whatever, because it gets the progress bar kind of gets stuck, and you guys don't give a shit. But what a great fight, you guys. The scorecards were really interesting. I'll talk about that in a second, but um, some things that I noticed early, Linares was starting to get timed like real early. Like the first round was really slow paced. I thought it favored Lomachenko heavily. I thought the second round favored Lomachenko heavily as well. And um, Linares, it looked like Linares was kind of getting timed, like a little bit off of that timing I was talking about, where he steps with his jab. Even though it didn't look like he was sticking his lead foot to the inside as much, it looked like he was starting to get timed, and Lomachenko was starting to get on the outside of it. But Linares did a great job of keeping Lomachenko in front of him by when he would time that movement. Lomachenko would kind of dip this way, and Linares would just whip a left hook. Not a hard shot, right? But something scoring, something to keep him in front of him, and it stopped him from moving to that side in the early rounds as much as he wanted to. Other things that Linares did that were really good, just like I talked about in my fight breakdown, punching and combination. Um, as you saw, except for the knockdown, which is just like, I'm gonna have to break that down. I watched it a few times. I'm gonna have to look for the patterns that Loma was giving him so that he could time him and figure that out. And I'll have a breakdown on that in the video. But Linares was punching. For the most part, he was getting outpunched when he would punch one punch at a time. Lomachenko was kind of dominating him, and whenever whenever Linares would sit on the line and wait for Lomachenko to come in because he was getting timed with his jab. So instead of going after Lomachenko and putting himself out of position, he would wait for Linares to come at him, or he would wait for Lomachenko to come at him and then just throw combinations and just and throw those punches. Now, one of the interesting things about that is I think Linares got credit for a lot of punches that were blocked or that missed. Stuff on the elbows, stuff that was getting blocked on the gloves. But it's just so fast that it's so hard to tell whether it landed or whether it didn't. Especially because the system that we use for scoring our fights is so rudimentary. Give me a second. Let me find my phone real quick. Um, like live scoring, and it's judgment based. So if you've got somebody with, maybe not the greatest eyes, like judging a fight like some old guy, maybe he's not going to be able to see that those punches didn't land. Maybe they're just going to give him credit. It was interesting because at the end of the fight, they had it basically a draw. Loma was up by 1 point on one card, down on 1 point on another card, and I don't know what the other card was, but it blew my mind because I think that Lomachenko was although it wasn't as convinced, I don't want to say not convincing, it wasn't as like dominant, right? Like, and I didn't think that he was just gonna blow him out of the water. I just thought he was gonna outpoint him easily. Linares, even when like Bradley, I listened to the Bradley's talking about it, his commentating. He was like, "Oh, this is a good round for Linares." I think it was the 8th round, and like I think Linares maybe threw 5 punches. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I was just like so in the moment. But it was just such a slow round, And Lomachenko was the one going forward. He was the one pressing the action. And he didn't get no credit for being the one that was controlling the round, you know, and landing the punches. And his punches were the clean ones. Whereas Linares, like I said, sometimes, like, even though this is exactly what he wants to do, right? And this is exactly what I talked about in the breakdown. For scoring, right? The more opportunities you have to throw punches at your opponent that are safe, the more opportunities you have to sway the rounds in your favor. And that's exactly what Linares was doing with those combinations, even when he wasn't landing, right? Like look at Lomachenko's face right now. Like he there's like he's almost like not a mark on his face, you know? Like he's just he looks like he's about to go fight right now. You know, like this looks like the pre-fight workout, you know, or like the pre-fight, you know, like they're calling the names or whatever. But Linares got a lot of credit because he was able to throw punches. And Lomachenko's just not super great at dealing with that, like that kind of speed and that kind of combination punching. You know, no fighter is, you know, but Linares got a lot of credit for those punches, even though I don't think he was winning the rounds. You know, I thought that Lomachenko basically, I don't want to say he won every round, right? But he won, I think he won almost all of them. You know, I even think that he won the round that he got knocked down in. You know, and the commentators were like, oh, last round was a 10-8 round. I'm not sure about that. You know, I'll have to go back and rewatch it, which I'm going to do before I do my film study. But my initial impression, right? And don't roast me in the comments, you guys. Come on. I said I only watched the fight one time, right? Like I'm just as susceptible to like bias and stuff like that as you guys, right? But the difference is I'm gonna go back and watch the fight. I'm probably gonna watch this fight like 10 times before the weekend is over. Yeah, I'm super excited to go rewatch it. I'm super annoyed that my video just like got all jacked up and I couldn't record in full screen. Um, but But I even thought that from what I saw, Lomachenko was winning the round that he got knocked down in. So the scorecards are like they really surprised me. I just don't understand that. Um, let's see, Lomachenko. What did Lomachenko do well? So well, I think Linares, to be honest, kind of stole the show. You know, I think that Lomachenko did what was expected of Lomachenko, right? But Linares really showed a lot of growth, a lot of like the fact that he had a good game plan, right? The punching and combination. Like who's ever what's his name? I don't know who the guy's name was, but he was really annoying. But he's like, when have you ever seen Lomachenko get hit with a combination like that? Never, because he never stays on the line. But Linares is just too fast. You know, he's just too fast, and because Lomachenko's coming to him, right? Linares was able to counterpunch, and I guess that Linares is a natural counterpuncher. Someone had pointed that out to me in the comments, but after seeing like the Campbell fight, I just didn't see it. You know, I didn't believe it. I saw the Jesta fight as well. I saw that one live. And he didn't look like a counterpuncher. He didn't look like he was waiting to counterpunch either. So it really surprised me that he was so effective at that. And his speed played such a huge role in that. He did a great job, to be honest. I think Linares did a fantastic job. To be honest, like I don't want to say I'm worried for Lomachenko in a rematch, right? Because I do think that he won, but the fact that Linares was able to catch him with the shot and knock him down, like, just wow, just it blew my mind, you guys. This was the Cinco de Mayo that we deserved. You know, that fight last weekend, right? Come on, we knew what was gonna happen, you know. But this was just such a great fight. It was fun to watch. It was competitive. It had me on the seat of my pants, you know, or the edge of my seat. Why does it seat of your pants, man? I don't get it. I don't have to Google it either. Someone in the comments, I'll probably just Google it. I'm not gonna Google it. But if somebody tells me in the comments, that'd be cool. But don't Google it yourself just to tell me if you already know. I've already put too much effort into talking about seat of my pants. But anyway, it was a great fight. It was fun to watch. I wouldn't mind a rematch, and it's interesting too because I can already hear the videos from Ellie Seckbach talking about this performance, and not Ryan Garcia, Robert Garcia saying he's not gonna get away with that against Mikey. Mikey hurt him like that. Mikey's gonna put him down. Mikey's gonna follow up. Mikey ain't gonna do shit. Mikey doesn't have the speed that Linares has. Like, he does have a better right hand, but Mikey's not going to be able to put punches together like that. Mikey's easy to get out of position. That was another thing. Linares was almost always in position. He was, even though like sometimes he would get touched up and it looked like Lomachenko would come in and start doing whatever he wanted, he didn't have that guarantee because Linares was stayed in punching position. He didn't flinch. He didn't move out of the way. He didn't dip down this way and get stuck off balance. So he always looked dangerous. That was something I was really surprised by. Linares, like, he really did his homework when doing this fight. He looked great. He looked phenomenal, to be honest. I'm so happy to have been able to see this fight. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, talking about the Mikey Garcia Loma fight. I still think that Loma smashes him. I think he smashes him as easy as he beat Walters. I think Walters might even be a better cerebral fighter than Mikey Garcia. I think Mikey Garcia is like very straight up and down in a lot of regards, and that was confirmed if you guys watched the Lipinets fight, by the way. Very basic, Mikey Garcia, also the Broner fight, he just couldn't do anything. He did what he wanted to do. He just didn't know how to do anything else. You know what I'm saying? Whereas Lomachenko, right? Lomachenko would circle out to the right side, right, of Linares, and then he would start getting onto the outside, but Linares did a great job of controlling Lomachenko when he would get there. Now, a lot of people wouldn't say it's controlling him, but when Lomachenko would shoot that shot or whatever, and he would start moving to the side, Linares would grab his arm and hold him and not let him circle out and take that angle. And it was really smart. It was really smart. I was really surprised. I think that was a great strategy from Linares to limit the ability of him to fight off that angle. And then what happened? As soon as Linares started taking that away, Lomachenko started moving to the left, changing the angle, and then piecing him up through the middle. Doing a great job, showing a very varied offense. Left hands to the body, left hands to the head, and sneaking his jab in. And I think actually, because of the fact that Lomachenko was having that side taken off, because Linares would just hold him, Lomachenko wound up being the one stepping on the inside. And maybe I'm gonna have to take another look at that knockdown because I think that might be a consequence of that. I'm not sure, but I'll have to watch it. I'll have to think about it because I think Lomachenko started stepping on the inside too because his offense was being taken away, so he had to make an adjustment. He had to find a way to score points and be able to throw punches at Linares in order to stay ahead on the cards, right? Because let's be honest, nobody thought Lomachenko was going to knock him out, right? Even I didn't think he was going to knock him out. I thought it could happen, right? But I thought more than likely it was going to be like accumulation of punches for like the cuts and stuff, because for some reason, maybe he doesn't get enough iron in his diet. I don't know what the deal is, but for some reason, Linares just cuts really easily, and especially after the cut over his left eye, or is it left eye, under or over? I don't know. Started happening in the middle rounds before the knockdown. I thought that it might get stopped on cuts again. But another interesting thing, after the knockdown, now this is a fascinating thing, right? Lomachenko, obviously he didn't fight the rest of the round. He just moved off the line, got away, circled away, did whatever. But he didn't fight in the next round either, and that was an obvious round that he lost. But it took him a long time to get back into rhythm. And I don't think a lot of people know this, right? Like, you're not always hurt, right? Like, when you get hit, you like might be a little dazed or whatever, right? But it's not that you're hurt, right? All the time. Sometimes you are, sometimes you're dazed, sometimes you're wobbly, sometimes your legs are gone, right? But part of it is like when you're in the moment and you're super hyper focused, like think about anything that you've ever focused on doing. Like if you ever played a video game, if you've ever like done long distance running, right? And like like once you're on that final stretch, that last mile, say you're doing a 5-mile run or like a 10-mile run, and you're on that final mile, and every single step you take, you're there, right? You're just switched on. You're like step, 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 and like in your mind, you could literally count every step and every breath and every car that passes by, everything. You're just hypersensitive to it. The same thing, like I was saying, for a video game. If you've played a video game, like a live, like with a really hard boss or whatever, and you're like going through all the patterns and learning. Oh, the first 30 seconds is just dodging this or doing that, or you're just so switched on. But when you get knocked down, all that switch on that you have, it's like this crazy adrenaline dump where your body just goes into like a different response. Like I don't know like how to explain it, but it just changes that dynamic, and now you no longer have that whole switch on. You're no longer in that same zone. So it takes you a while to get back there. And you could really see it with the Lomachenko, as he didn't look like he was hurt, right? He got right back up, but I think it took him a while to get back into that mental space of being in a fight, being prepared. Because remember, he fought, or he trained for like 3 months for this fight, right? And then all of a sudden, like every day he's working to have this fight, and then all of a sudden in the middle of the fight he just gets switched off, and now he's thinking about, maybe he's got blueberries on his mind, now he's thinking about maybe if he has kids, he's thinking about his kids, or maybe he's thinking about, oh man, I want to get some ice cream right now, but it just changes you like mentally, the way that you see the fight, like that, all that focus just evaporates. And having to get back into that during the middle of the fight when someone's trying to take your head off, it can be really challenging. And that's kind of what stops a lot of fighters from being able to continue. Is not that they're just so hurt, they're just not mentally there in the fight anymore. Like they can fight, but they're just not there. I think like a body shot might be a little different. I don't know. The only time I've ever been hit to the body, and well, actually a few times, man, I've had I've had this guy. I was sparring this guy before my first amateur fight ever, and I couldn't fight anybody my size, like my weight class, because there just weren't very many people. Like the only people that were my size when I was fighting, I was like 119, or like 118, 119. They were little kids, like 16, 17-year-olds. And I'm 19, I weigh under 120. So I would have to spar like men. And like big men too. Like these guys were like 180, 190, and this guy, like, he was kind of being a poor sport, and he wound up hitting me in the ribs, and he like bruised my rib before the fight. And I remember going down because he hit me so hard. Like I was piecing him up, but we're not supposed to be hitting each other hard either. And he just like, obviously, like, how does he judge how he's gonna take away, if he's 180, I'm 120, that's 30% of his power, well 33.3 of his power. So how does he know he's not hitting me that hard? Maybe he's hitting me hard, anyway. So he drops me and bruises my rib. Like I can't train for like a week. I'm like all jacked up, but I still have a fight. I still have my fight the next week, and I fight with that guy. And in the first round, I kind of piece him up. It was like super easy. I've got good head movement because I'm scared as fuck to get hit. Turns out that the guy's way bigger than me. But he doesn't even throw a single head punch in the second round. And I shoot my jab out there. He just slips that, boom, and lands a huge body shot on me and just breaks my fucking rib. Snaps that shit. And I just remember, like, I remember watching the video of it, and, like, you just see it. Like, I just, like, like, I was all fucked up. And he winds up breaking my other rib, too, or another rib on the other side, because he just throws all body shots in that round. I remember going back to my corner, and like nobody knows what happened, right? Like nobody can tell. I remember going back to my corner and talking to him like my coach. Like I'm like terrified. I've got like I'm still in that like that mode where I'm ready to fight, but I'm talking to my coach. I'm like, I don't want to go back out there. I don't want to go back out there. And he looks at me and he's all, you're going back out there. And I'm like, okay, I'm going back out there. And I'm just like, I can barely sit on the stool. He's trying to give me instructions. I don't know what the fuck is going on. Like my mind is blown, right? I just have no idea. And then all of a sudden they whistle and I'm like, what, already? Oh my God. Oh God. Oh God. And, I remember my coach, like after I get up, my coach says, when he goes to the body, he's going to throw that body shot. I want you to whip that left hook. And he goes to throw that body shot. And I'm just like hypersensitive. I'm just here, right? I'm just here. I'm like terrified. I can hardly move. And I'm just waiting. I'm not even fainting. I'm not even moving. I'm just standing in front of him with my hands up like this. And he dips down to throw that body shot. And I just like, I don't even know that I do it. I just, complete instincts, right? I know that's what I'm looking for. I know that's what I'm supposed to be doing, but like, you just can't think. And this is all I have. And I just wham, and I crack him with the left hook. And he just goes, woo, and he like stumbles over. And I remember I get so excited I fly forward, I jump forward, and as soon as I plant my feet, like when I jump forward to get him, I just feel my ribs like just cave on me, and I like fall down like this, and I'm just like, and I'm like all bent over, and like I can't even move. I can't even move. And I just like crumple back up after hurting him and like kind of retreat to the corner. And I don't even try to like throw any punches for the rest of the round because it just hurt so bad. But yeah, at the end of the fight, I had two broken ribs and like all this stuff. But yeah, getting hit to the head is just so much different. Sorry for the crazy tangent. All of you guys that are not interested in me getting beat up. Um, but um, but anyway, let me know what you guys thought about the fight. It was a great fight, to be honest. I'd like to see it again. I think that Lomachenko looked faster than he's ever looked in any of his other fights. I think he looked really fast. I wonder if it was something he was saving, like maybe he was just playing around before. Now he was just kind of turning it up. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Yeah, and look forward to my film study. I'm gonna be as soon as I can get a copy of the fight. Hopefully tonight, I'm gonna chop that shit up and I'm gonna talk about all the things that I see in the fight from my second and my third and my fourth viewings of it. So let me know what you guys think. Thanks, guys.